Welcome back to Talking Dirt. We're so pleased to have Tony Vagneur here with us. He is a real legend around Aspen. I love your column, by the way.
Well, thank you very much.
I read it the other day, and it just so happened that I was at the Big Rap ordering up some food, and Dano Oppenheimer's in there asking him, hey, how the flies up high? He goes, well, they weren't too bad. I was just up there putting up a salt lick. And then I read your article that next day, and you're talking about Dano and being up in the high country and putting up your salt licks up in, can't tell the valley name, but feeding the cows still. So you still are ranching today?
Oh, yeah, I love it. Yeah. It's, you know, between ranching and skiing. And somebody said, well, if you had to make a choice, what would you do? And I said, well, if I had to choose, I'd probably explode.
So you grew up in Woody Creek on a big ranch, but you went to school in downtown Aspen.
I did, right.
Can you give us like a little glimpse into what was Aspen like back then?
Well, it was just beautiful. I mean, what more can you say? It was a lot smaller, and, you know, some of the old houses that you see now were actually big houses when I was a kid.
Yeah.
And, you know, we didn't have stuff like North and Nell and Aspen Square. But, you know, in a lot of ways, it was still the same.
Really?
I mean, yeah, of course, we were kids, and we were all, you know, we went in a red brick school, 1st through 12th grade. So if you're in the 1st grade, you might know seniors in high school. It was a great mix of students, and it's a, you know, it carries me through my life, because a lot of those kids I've known forever.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was just great. And, you know, we'd get out for lunch, and we'd walk up to Matthew Drug, which is now Carl's Pharmacy. And then after school, we'd jog from the school up to Vagneur Park for football practice. And I don't know, you know, I wouldn't trade it for anything.
I bet. What a great way to grow up.
Aspen Mountain Ski Patrol.
I did that.
You did that.
I did, yeah.
How many years were you on the patrol?
I think 7.
Oh.
You know, I guess in a town like Aspen, it's funny, but, you know, there's so much wealth and so a lot of ostentatious behavior. But it's the little things like that to me, like being on the ski patrol. That's an adventure I could never forget. And I still go up and hang out with those guys.
Good for you.
Because, you know, occasionally they want to know where something is, I can tell them.
So you're a RE/MAX Hall of Fame, I'm sorry, I'm thinking real estate. You're an
Yeah.
Aspen Hall of Famer. How do you become a member of the Hall of Fame?
You know, that's a good question. I have no idea, but I said, well, I'm not going to argue with them. Just let them have it.
That's awesome. You know, there's kind of a steward of land and community. What do you want people to know that are visiting Aspen that they don't know? Give them a little gem, something
That they wouldn't otherwise know as a visitor. What would you like them to know?
Wow, there's a million things. But I guess the most important thing, and this comes up all the time, that Aspen is still a community. And there's people here that care very deeply about this place, raise their kids here, and that's still what holds this town together, I think. I mean, there's a lot of real estate going on. I mean, probably real estate's the #1 activity in Aspen now, but, you know, and everybody that lives here really likes it. And I know the people that moved away, now they all say, oh, you know, I wish I could get back in up there.
Yeah, yeah.
So I think that's the most important thing to realize. It's still a community.
well, I think it's people like you.
That keep it a community.
Well,
Make it the real deal.
There's a lot of people like me in this town, you know. I mean, like Tom Anderson
Right.
at Pomeroy Sports for years. And, I mean, I could go on and on. I mean,
So you just mentioned Tom, but who do you think we should have met? Who would you like us to re-meet? Maybe that's come and gone. Your favorite character?
probably nobody you've ever heard of, you know. I mean, the cowboy we had on the ranch, he worked for us for 50 years. His name was Al Senna. He was a guy from Vermont, came out here to be a cowboy, and that's what he did the rest of his life. I mean, and, you know, there's a kid I grew up with, Max Vaughn, who was probably the hardest hitting football player there ever was. He could probably still get a tryout with the Denver Broncos. I mean, there's tons of people like that that stand out and that would be sort of amazing to anybody that would meet them. So, you know, I mean, we hear incessantly about Walter Pepke and Darcy Brown, and of course, those guys are icons in in the Aspen culture, but it's the other people, I think, that really make this town click.
I think I agree with you wholeheartedly. It's the people who make the difference.
Exactly.
It's such a rich community. We've got great views and great mountains, but it's who's attracted here, I think, makes it more attractive for me to live here.
Yeah,
With people
absolutely.
like, who really care about this town, community, and area around us.
Well, I mean, you have to care about it. I mean, you just look, it's so beautiful.
Right.
That, I mean, if you don't care about it, you don't belong here. So that's my take.
And thanks again. You brought us out to your ranch, and that was a gift to Michelle and I.
It really was. It was great to see those photographs too of the ranch back
yeah.
then and the ranch today.
It's pretty much the same, isn't it?
It really is. Better a fresh coat of paint on there.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good.
Yeah. It's getting a cold soon.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
It looked really good as
Yeah,
we
it was
were.
great having you guys out there. It's fun. Have some visitors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Horses are still talking.
They are.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having Tony Vagneur. Thanks again for coming.
Thank you.
And
Appreciate
sharing
it.
some of the
Appreciate it
stories.
very much.
Thank
His
you.
family's been around since the 1880s, original homesteads.